Now, if you're anything like me, your YouTube feed has been absolutely bombarded by infrastructure videos in the past few months. Even harder than the city was bombarded by the car in the 1960s. You see what I did there? And I'm not gonna lie to you, the propaganda that I've been fed in the last few months has been 100% effective. So effective, in fact, that I felt this profound urge to spread the good word to my incomprehensibly massive audience. Now, I could go on all day about how the simple implementation of public transport brings about good health for our cities, better efficiency, better economies. But to be honest with you, all that sounds far too important. So instead, we're gonna focus on how public transport makes our cities look good. And that make brain happy. Now let's start off with the negative. It's car dependency. Now I want to preface this by saying that I actually quite like cars. You know, I enjoy driving and I quite appreciate the machinery behind them. Unless it's a Ford F-150. Now quite simply, mankind building the world around the car is, to put it bluntly, one of the worst ideas we've ever had. Maybe besides genocide. You see, building the city around the car kind of makes everything more difficult for everyone, including people who drive. But to be honest, accessibility seems like way too serious of a topic. Let's talk about vanity. The entire public transport network is kind of designed to work cohesively with one another. Trains for long distance, trams and buses for medium distance. Although these definitions are kind of blurred because whichever mode you take is usually reliant on whichever one has the least gum on the seats. Now you might be thinking, this greedy communist wants to take our trucks away. Or, what about short distance journeys? In an ideal city, pretty much all short distance journeys will be taken by walking or bike, which is where aesthetics come in. Now, in cities that are designed to be accessed without a car, things tend to be far closer together. I know, shock horror. And as a consequence, the health of our retinas become a priority because people are spending more time in these places instead of just whizzing past them. Now, as an example, let's make a comparison that no one on this platform has ever made before. Houston versus Amsterdam. Now in Houston, the general assumption would be that you'd get in a car to complete any of your short, medium or long distance travels. Now as a consequence, things tend to be a lot more spread out and individual lots tend to be a lot larger. As an example, if you went in the downtown of Houston, then you'd be much more likely to have a Walmart with 50,000 car parks that's a 30-minute drive away at your local shopping centre rather than just a small grocer on the end of your street. What results is something that resembles a collection of places rather than an area, because in Houston, most of the space is taken up by large lots, roads, car parks, or Ford F-150s. In contrast, Amsterdam's entire identity is literally wooden shoes, bikes, and windmills. It would be the most stupid idea in the world for them to not make the city look nice. Because in Amsterdam, there is this need for things to be close together, it ends up feeling more like an area, and it has a distinct visual identity, and feels like it was built with intention. Now there is an argument to be made that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I don't think I'd be attacked by an angry mob. That's my angry mob. But I don't think I'd be attacked by an angry mob for saying that Amsterdam is a pretty city. The place is literally famous for its historic style, its famous canals, and the fact that you could leave your house and within 5 minutes be at a place where you could buy your groceries or your Central Asian herbs. Even in the newly constructed outer suburbs of Amsterdam, there is still this focus on medium level density and walkability, but more importantly, style. I really need to stop doing this cutaway. Yeah, it may not have the same charm as the Amsterdam Old Town, but these new developments are still leaps and bounds better looking than having a 40-lane highway go through your backyard. Now, this might sound insane or incredibly obvious, but I genuinely feel like the way our towns look have an incredible impact on our mental health. To be honest though, I really can't be bothered to look up anything that'll back up my point. So, source is trust me. But I do feel like living in a place where all you see for the most part is blank space, car traffic, and unreasonably large buildings isn't exactly awe-inspiring. On the exact opposite, places that are designed with good public transport for people and with good walkability are also, shock horror, usually tourist destinations. I mean, no offense, but there's probably a good reason why people want to go on holidays to places like Tokyo or Paris instead of London, Canada. In essence though, I genuinely do think that a good-looking, well-designed public transport city is just as important for our mental health as it is our physical health. And I feel like most people intuitively know this. But fear not though, if you live in a non-beautiful city, there is still a good chance that things could change for the better. In fact, people have been aware of these issues for a very long time, even before the massive onslaught of this kind of content onto our YouTube algorithms. You see, this place in Paris called... Yeah, I'm not even going to try that. Managed to completely restore its social housing and completely renew how the city looked, even winning awards for it. I mean, Amsterdam, the poster child for walkability, had to fix itself at one point. And hell, even Houston and London are making small but subtle changes in the right direction. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I guess the moral of the story is don't buy Ford F-150s. They're stupid cars. All right, public transport merch coming soon. Okay, bye.